Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Stacks, the podcast for Lincoln Township Public Library. I am Brian Johnston, the Adult Services Librarian here, and with me, as always, is the Children's Librarian, Amy Nolan. Amy, we've got kind of a special program today because we're going to be talking about our renovation that is just about completed. And at the time of this recording, we're a few days away from reopening again. So I know I'm excited about it. I'm sure you are as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm over the moon.
Yeah.
Absolutely over the moon.
Lots of changes. We think that patrons are going to love this building. They're going to continue to love the services that we provide, but they're going to love this building, and hopefully we'll continue to do great things in the future. So later on in this episode, we're going to be talking with Dr. Megan Yore-Norbey. She is a board member here at Lincoln Township Library, and she's played a huge role in making this whole project possible.
Yes.
So in that interview, we talk about kind of the role that libraries play in our lives. And I know that a lot of staff that work at libraries, the reason they get involved in it is because they love libraries. You know, it's one of my favorite things about this line of work is that the people who work in it love it.
Always, yes.
And so it kind of got me to thinking a little bit about kind of the role that libraries play in our own lives personally.
Right.
Just kind of thinking, throughout your life, Amy, what are some of the ways that libraries have benefited you personally?
Oh, yeah. My gosh. And, that's such a true statement that you made, that I don't know of another profession where they will tell you, people who work in libraries, whether they be librarians or not, like, I've always loved libraries. They played a pivotal role in my life. They make them happy. I mean,
and people read after work too. I mean, how many other jobs do you continue to do your job after?
Exactly. And you read during your lunch hour, and it's ridiculous. No, I mean, I'm probably very, like most librarians, I grew up reading. I grew up in a family of readers, and I have really fond memories of the downtown Grand Rapids Public Library. That's where I grew up in Grand Rapids. Mm-hmm. And it was an old library. It was big. You could take the elevator to the fourth floor, which I thought was so cool.
Oh, wow.
And they had a separate part called the Ransom Library that was old, and that's where the historical stuff was. And of course, Grand Rapids has gone through their own amazing revitalization, and that library is still amazing, and it still makes me feel good to be in it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but whenever I travel, especially if I travel overseas, I always go to a library. I love to see what it looks like. I love to talk to fellow librarians. But Megan talks about this in the interview. It is really a community-centered and focused place.
Yeah, a lot of people think of libraries as just, a place to go get books.
Right.
And they've just evolved so much. That's just a fraction of what they're doing.
Yes.
I mean, it's a very important part, but there's a lot of other things they're doing too.
Definitely. And it really is. If you want to know a community, go into their library. Mm-hmm. And obviously the community that we are serving is vibrant, because we've got a lot going on at our library, and our patrons are very involved.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
What about, did you have that growing up? Did you have a certain library that you were drawn to? Or how'd you get involved in this crazy thing?
Yeah. I grew up in Battle Creek, which is about an hour from Stevensville. Some of my earliest memories are of my mom taking me to Willard Library. We went to story times there. Yes. We checked out books, everything. When I was 16, I got a job there. My mom used to work, like when she was in high school, years before that, she worked there. And some of the staff that was there were still there. She knew them, got me an interview. I got in there. I didn't know what to expect, because it's different working in a place than just going there. But it was work that I liked enough that after I finished my undergrad degree, I did decide to pursue a graduate degree.
Yes.
In library and information science. I did that because I thought it would open up a lot more doors for me in terms of my career. And it did, because I got hired here back in 2012. And I've learned a lot. This is a job where you're always learning.
Yes.
Like, you never stop learning. And as I get older, I'm going to turn 40 in a few months here. Like,
ancient.
Yeah.
Wow.
as I get older, the desire to keep learning and becoming a better person just continues to grow inside me. And I know a lot of other people feel that way too. And this is a job where you can do that.
In fact, it encourages it.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because, we're professionals, we need to, keep coming up with new program ideas, and like, it allows us to show our creativity.
It sure does.
That's one thing that I really like. And in addition to the staff that I work with, that's another thing I really like about it, is that I can continue to be creative and just continue to try new things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but
and that's okay.
You learn
Exactly.
in any case.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's and to your point as well, it's not just checking out books is, I still love to read. It's hard to find time sometimes, but I still love to read. But besides that, you meet lots of different kinds of people. You get to help, people in a lot of different ways. It really is a community center.
It really is.
And not just because, the programming is a big part of it, but just the fact that, people from all walks of life who otherwise might not have met each other, get to know each other, through programming or whatever.
And you see that in a lot of places in the library, but you really see it, I think, in the children's room.
Oh, yeah.
You see parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles bringing kids together to play, and they have nothing in common except that they're all at the library together.
Yeah.
And friendships can form. It's a really cool melting pot, I think.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And I know that we as professionals, we try to make sure that the library is a place for everybody. We try to get
100%.
a wide variety of books and programs,
Yes.
and, we're willing to help with pretty much anything people need. So I think, and I know we're going to talk about that in the interview too, but it really truly is a place that's for everybody, and a place that represents the best of its community.
Well, and I think that's why we're so excited about this revitalization of the building, because we know how many people it's going to impact.
Yeah.
A great many.
Yeah. No, it will for sure. Yeah. I've seen a lot of the different changes, and I kind of feel like it'll be the way that we've renovated the building and all the changes we've made. I feel like it will allow us to serve our patrons even better. I really do.
Yes.
So, and that's always important. So.
With a lovely backdrop now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful colors.
Yeah. So we hope all our patrons out there will come check out the new place soon. Lots of great changes. And we're going to talk, we're looking forward to talking to Megan. I'm sure she's going to give us a lot more details about how this all came about. I know she loves the library too, so it'll be great to talk to her about it. All right, everyone. Well, I'm sure as many of you know, over the past few months, the library has gone through a pretty big renovation. And I know, Amy, we've both seen all the changes, and we're
amazing.
Really, really excited that the public gets to see all this. And we think lots of great things are going to be happening for our patrons. And to talk about that with us today, we have a third-term board member. She is the past president of the board, and she's the current president of the foundation, Dr. Megan Yore-Norbey. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the renovation. Now, Megan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. And why don't you start off just by talking to us, just give us an overview of the renovation project, maybe talk about what was accomplished and how you think our patrons will benefit from it.
Sure, I'd love to. So we are calling it a revitalization because really we have looked at every square corner of the library and tried to create an experience for our patrons, our loyal patrons, our new patrons that is unmatched in a library, community library like ours. So this all started a number of years ago with the board envisioning what we would want the library to be as part of our strategic plan. And it's taken a number of years to get here. So when people come in, we had started with an idea that we just needed to replace the chairs, and then the chairs, and then it grew from there. Because if you've, updated your house, if you get carpeting, you need to paint. If you do that, then you might need a new couch. But we really wanted to improve the experience, improve the safety for patrons by lowering the stacks, give it a modern look, add some new amenities that we haven't had before. So literally there is so much new to see when you come in to the library.
It really is. It's a transformation, really. Every time that I've come in during the process, I've just been wowed. And I'm one of those people who cannot envision. You show me a sketch, you tell me where it's going to be. I just nod. I don't really know what that's going to look like. Has it met your vision? Is this what you were envisioning?
So it's interesting that you say that, because walking around today, and I've been in a number of times over the past few months, but today I really was excited by some of those key things that we have visioned before, but you can't really experience it until you come in. So, they're putting in the glass today around the teen area, which gives a separate space for our teen patrons, which they need. The fireplace near the patio. And a number of years ago, when we just had the steel door and I didn't even know we had a patio, I said, we need an arrow pointing to the patio with a glass door. And I can see that today. So the largest community room that we have now looks like it's twice the size as it used to be by taking down a few walls and updating the paint and the colors. So it's just, everywhere and we haven't even put in the large round circulation desk yet.
My gosh.
It's just everywhere you look, there's something so interesting and so fresh about the library. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I think the public's going to be blown away. I really do. Yes. I really, really do. Can you talk a little bit about how this was funded? Because I know that's a question a lot of people have.
Yeah, we are fortunate in this community to have members, area residents who have supported the library over the years. We've had a history of board members who have been very prudent with how we fund the library. So because of that, we have had some savings in the bank. And
excellent.
We haven't really gone through a project of this scope for about 20 years. So it was time. And again, we were fortunate to have enough savings in the bank that we could fund the largest portion of it, and still have enough funds on hand so that if the library, incurred some catastrophe, that we would be fine. So we actually started by upgrading the foundational elements of the library. So we went through and we put on a new roof. We looked at the HVAC units. We looked at the electrical. So we really wanted to make sure that foundation was there before we went through the revitalization. So area residents and patrons can be content in knowing that it's been a number of decades of area residents who have helped fund this through support of millages and things of that nature. And then we get funding from the state, we get funding from a lot of areas, but we have developed a capital campaign element so that if anyone is interested in being part of the library project and supporting it, seeing your name on a library donor wall, it's something that not everyone is comfortable with. Some people are giving us donations out of the goodness of their hearts and they want to be anonymous. Some people are interested in putting their family name up there because they've been patrons forever and they want to be part of it. So if people are interested in that, they can visit the foundation section on the library website and reach out.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing all that. That's really great information. And I agree with you. I feel like I've worked here for over a decade and I'm amazed at how our patrons continue to support us so strongly. It's really great to see. Were there any challenges that came up throughout this process and how were you able to address them?
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, with a project of this scope, there were a number of challenges. It's a long timeline. So as I was saying earlier, we kind of were future planning. We thought we should replace the chairs. And then we thought, let's think bigger than that. So just aligning all the things that it takes to do something like this. We had an architect who came in and gave us some suggestions. We had a number of other vendor partners who gave us proposals. And so we looked at all of that. And then, of course, COVID came right in the middle of it, that planning process. And then we had a director change as well. So Joelle Wake joined us just over 2 years ago. But those were all the types of things that we had to manage through as we went through this, while always staying focused on the fact that we wanted to do this, because it's daunting to and then we close the library. We try to do it in phases, but we did decide to close the library for a short period of time to get it done in the most expedient way possible. And it was wonderful to have the temporary library over in Royalton Township, who's one of our townships we serve, so that people could still take advantage of library services. So it's just, I can't thank Joelle and the staff enough, because it is all of you that have made this possible for our patrons. And, some people wouldn't have the heart or the bravery to take on a project like this. But this team did, and it's going to be fantastic for our patrons.
Yeah. I don't know. I know I've seen all of our, people we work with here. They're flexible. They're willing to do pretty much anything asked. Yeah. So, it's been great to see.
And the patrons have been really supportive, and I know they've really enjoyed the temporary location.
They have,
and some of them, obviously, their homes are closer to that one. So like, this is awesome,
Well, I didn't know. When this first started, I didn't really know what to expect in terms of like how many people would come over. Actually, I saw the number of people coming there increase as time went on.
Yes.
Because more and more people seem to enjoy
They
coming there.
got used to it.
Yeah.
Megan, when we were introducing you, Brian was saying how you're past president, you've 3-time board member, and now the foundation. Could you talk a little bit about how you got involved with the library and all the stuff that you've been involved with? It's fascinating.
Yeah, so I'll say this, but I'll give a caveat. Please don't call me and ask me to volunteer for anything else.
Shoot, that was the plan.
Yes, right. Because I am a type of person, when people ask for my help, I can't say no, even if I have too much to do. So before the first term that I served, the board was going through kind of a sea change.
Okay.
And there was only going to be one board member who was staying on from the previous cycle of board members. So that's
significant.
It is significant. We have 6 members at any one time. So to go down to just one, that was tough for that person who was carrying on. So I was asked by the director 3 directors ago to join the library board. And I love reading. I used to get in trouble for reading books under my desk in school. I would get in trouble for reading books under my sheets at home. I always have a book with me no matter where I am. So I will say that I'm not the best library patron because I love to own books. I have an entire room of books in my house. But then I donate the ones that I know I won't reread back to the store. So I just love the idea of libraries and a place where all of these resources are available for people. And like I said, I'm just a staunch believer in reading. So when I was asked to serve on the library board, it was a natural fit for me. And I've really enjoyed it. It doesn't seem like it's been, 8 years, going into my 9th year. So that's been just a wonderful experience. And then, helping with the building project, helping with recruit and onboard 2 directors. It's been a lot of different things. And then with the foundation, there are a number of ways that people can support the library if they're interested in that.
Okay.
We have the Friends, which are kind of an auxiliary, and they work on special projects. They have the Treasure Shop resale store. They support summer reading and a number of other things. We do have an endowment through the Berrien Community Foundation.
Okay.
Some people just choose to, give things directly to the library, whether it's, if it meets our parameters of what we accept. And then we just needed another organization, a 501c3, that could support kind of strategic fundraising, capital campaigns, and then larger scale events. So the team last year launched the first run on behalf of the library.
That's right.
I can't remember the name of it. It was a really cute name. But...
Lace Up for Libraries, I
thank you.
believe.
Yeah, Lace Up for Libraries. So that was a wonderful event. And we just, it's those types of things are about gathering friends as much as funds. And again, some people might not utilize the library, although we have so many classes and books and things, study areas. But people, again, like me, love the idea of a library. So launching the foundation allowed us another mechanism to apply for certain grants, to do this capital campaign, and then to have some fundraising events along the way. So it's been a natural evolution. I'm the type of person, in my work, if I get something organized and running well, then I let that run and I add something else. So that's just kind of my natural propensity to say, well, we've got, the revitalization program is going or process is going, and we've got Joelle and the great team. What else can we do?
Right.
Well, we can put some things in place for future generations.
Right. I think it's indicative of how far Lincoln Township Library is coming, that besides what has just happened with the building, that the foundation happened too. I think it shows progress.
Definitely. And I just, we've always, the board members that I've served with over the last 8 years, and I've always felt like this library is more than a library. It's really the community center of Lincoln Township, and then also Royalton and Baroda, who we serve in a lot of ways. We're a small town. We don't have a lot of things, but this is a place where we hold something like 6 times the number of classes that libraries our size usually hold over the course of the year. Serving the homeschooled students, area groups that use the meeting spaces, in addition to reading materials and listening materials and all of those things.
Well, I can certainly attest to that. In the time I've been here, we've done we've had lots of new programs. We have this project that's just wrapping up here. I've seen tremendous growth in this place. So just kind of wrapping up here, we're just about at the end of this project. A lot of great things are happening. Where do we go from here? What do you see in the future for this library?
Yeah, as we were talking about, we just want it to keep growing and serving the needs of the community. So just looking for people to give us that feedback and see what they would like to have in the library, in this center for everyone. Again, Joelle's a fantastic director. She's one of those people in the staff as well that, they all keep coming up with ideas, and there's really no end to what we can do for people. We launched Babies for Books recently, where we're giving boxes of books to newborns. The Media Lab is something we haven't mentioned yet that we're adding that will allow people to create their own content and digitize things.
Yes.
I think there's no end. I think expanding outside next. We're looking at that as a next kind of phase, and there's so much nice green space around here. So do we need a little pavilion for events? What else do we need?
Yes, please.
Yes. So there's kind of never an end. And then, something else that we might do is become a district library at some point.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We have great relationships with Royalton Township, Rhoda Township, and we have reciprocal library agreements with Benton Harbor and Coloma and St. Joe and so many other libraries in this area that
Definitely.
just, learning from our friends and peers in this area and continuing to expand what we offer is,
Well, I think that's a great attitude to have. Always, no matter how successful you are at something, keep trying more.
Exactly.
I think that's wonderful. Well, Megan, like I said at the beginning, Amy and I know the rest of the staff, and I'm sure the public is really excited about what's happening here and what we're going to be offering in the future. We appreciate you taking the time to share this information with us. And thanks so much for all your efforts in making this happen. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Oh, you're welcome.